sportsman who loves the fields and streams. To filter through this land of ours and fill a sportsman's dreams. Enjoy what nature holds for us, her bounty never ends. Getting back to basics with the practical sportsman. It's always an adventure, no matter where we go. From a favorite hunting spot to the hottest fishing hole. Outdoor life we all can share with family and friends. We'll do it all together with a practical sportsman. We'll do it all together with a practical sportsman.
Hi there, come on in. It is Thursday night, April 6th. April, supposed to be nice weather, maybe a few April showers. Let me tell you, the wind howled earlier this week. Gale force winds off South Haven. That scotched our trip out there for perch. We're going to have to reschedule that. But we have a lot of issues to talk about, a lot of things to go over, and a great guide report coming up. So please, stay tuned. You know, the DNR has new regulations for stream fishing. I really haven't analyzed it myself. I've heard mixed reviews on whether it's easier or better or what, but they're new regulations nonetheless. But one thing that we can't ever be sure of is the weather. Like earlier this week, April 1st was fine, but you know, a few years ago, steelheading on April 1st was quite a different story. I was on the banks of the Little Manistee with John Ford. Holy cow, John, look at that right there. That guy got some fish. He's got 3 of them he's dragging through the snow. You have one.
Yep.
What's your name?
Mark Cushew.
From where?
Midland.
From Midland. Okay, look at this. You got your flashlight, everything set up. Geez, you got yarn balls in there, like tons of them. You tie yourself.
Yep.
That's pretty. Now you got 2 rods.
No, just one.
Oh, one. Okay.
It's broke down.
You took it apart. You got a nice big net because you catch big fish. You got a pack, you got a rain jacket, and you got one steelhead. Now, how was this morning's fishing?
Not too bad. I lost about 30 of them.
No kidding?
Yeah.
So they were hitting well.
Oh, yeah. Real good.
I'll be darn well. Not everybody has had that kind of luck, but you must spend a lot of time steelheading.
Yeah, I was out here for 24 hours. Or ever since midnight.
No.
Yeah.
Now, is this a practical sportsman? I mean, I'll tell you, I would say a fanatic sportsman for sure. Since midnight?
Yep, I'm going right now to get some sleep.
Well, I guess you've been here like 9-10 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now, how was the fishing from midnight to 6 when it's dark?
It wasn't too good. Just sat by the campfire.
Okay. I want to ask you one thing. What do you carry the hatchet, the axe for?
Campfire.
Oh, okay. So you were here for the night. That's why you got the pack and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, it was nice meeting you. You go get some sleep.
What's your name?
My name is Fred Trost.
Fred? Okay.
Guy never watches the show.
Yeah, I do.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm not thinking, I'm just tired.
Hey, good. You'll be on next week. How you guys do? Huh?
Don't even ask.
Don't ask.
Don't ask.
Yeah.
Too late. What happened?
The weather. Had to have been the weather.
Had to be the weather? Now, hold it. This guy here got one. Guy just walked through here with 3 of them.
Some guys are lucky.
Oh, okay. Lucky.
Well, some do have good luck, some have no luck, and some have bad luck, like Terry Gino from Linwood.
Look at this pole, brand new pole. I just bought it Saturday, man.
Yeah?
Saturday for the big opener, and I get down here, and I'll tell you what, I had to hold up a big one. And he just popped her, man. He just snapped her.
What's the deal on the on the lip there?
I'll tell you what I was doing now. Don't laugh at me now.
I wouldn't dare laugh.
Every once in a while, I stick a hook in my mouth, you know, and put my split shot on my line. And it just happened to kind of like catch the... Isn't that terrible?
You hooked yourself?
Yeah.
And you landed yourself?
Yeah, I got me. I didn't even have to net me. I was already on the bank there.
You know, a lot of guys are out here wearing hats, you know, like a hood or something like that.
Yeah, I know that. I realize that. Yeah, they're the smart ones. They're the smart ones.
Well, you came up here beefing and carrying on.
I did not come up here prepared. I'll tell you that. I was coming up here to see a little bit nicer day today. But hey, it's great out here. You know,
It's great.
You got to make do with you know, with whatever you got. Hey, I got this. Makes nice earmuffs, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kept my ears warm, kept my head warm. Hey, I'm out on the river having a great time.
This is the first time I've
Hey.
talked to a fisherman who hooked himself, landed himself, and here he is.
There I am, right
The
here.
trophy and the fisherman
There it
all
is,
in one.
right here. Right there. There you go. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. God.
What's your name?
Last week we talked about how this hook is illegal in this state to use for fishing. It's a snag hook. It has the weight put right on, the lead weight is right on the hook. And the question that we posed last week is, what about a sinker like this one or this one that has hooks dangling from it? This one that has a lip on it that looks like a lure, or this one that's made out of lead and painted like a little Cleo and has the hook appears to be fairly permanently attached. Are these legal? I said that you'd be surprised with the answer to this. I have a letter that was dated August 15th, 1986 from the director of the Law Division from a guy who manufactured a sinker like this with hooks dangling from it. And here's what the letter says. On August 14th, 1986, you visited our office inquiring about the legal status of a weighted lure manufactured by your company. During your visit, I advised you that the lure you showed us was legal based on current statute. Now, this letter is verification of my comments to you. Since the fishing lure you manufacture is similar to the one illustrated on the enclosed sheet, it complies with current statute and regulation. And the one illustrated on the enclosed sheet here is a piece of lead with eye hooks at either end and treble hooks dangling. That's just what this one is. And Herb Burns in 1986 said this is legal. Now that's kind of perplexing. There was a handwritten note on here. This device is legal in Michigan. John Winalda, September 30th, 1993, reaffirming that. Well, a guy named Robert Forrestek wrote a letter to the Presque prosecutor and to the DNR Law Division, says people are selling these things. And the way I read the statute and what it has in the fishing guide, these are lead weights with hooks attached, which appear to be illegal. Well, here's a letter sent to Robert Forrestek from the DNR Law Division, and you're going to be very surprised at this. And this was on March 2nd of this year. I believe you are of the belief that a certain device on the market consisting of lead molded in the rough shape of a small fish and having treble hooks attached by means of eyes embedded in the lead constitutes a snag hook under Michigan law. And further, it is your position that the sale and possession of this lure would be in violation of state law. The Law Division says, I respectfully disagree. That's from our DNR Law Division. It says these weights with the lures are not. Now, let's look at the statute that was written by the legislature. It says, a person who possesses or sells in this state any multi-pointed hook with a weight permanently attached is guilty of a misdemeanor, could be fined and put in jail. So the question is this a weight permanently attached? Robert Forrestek says it appears permanent to me. I mean, you could drop a hand grenade on it and blow that eyelet out of there, or saw it off with a hacksaw or something, but otherwise, it's permanent. Well, here's what John Winalda wrote in his letter. The provision requires that the weight be rigidly attached to the hook before the device is prohibited. Once again, is this rigidly attached? The lure we reviewed several years ago, which appears to be the subject of your concerns, has the hooks attached to the weight by the use of an eye hole-like fitting that allows the hooks to swing freely. The hook is not directly or rigidly attached to the weight. I mean, think about this, folks. Are these hooks directly or rigidly attached to the weight just because they swing? As this is pulled through the water, that hook can go up like that and expose that point at the bottom, which is almost like having a rigid snag hook. Well, the DNR Law Division says no, this is legal. And here's the real crux of it. He says, absent a statutory definition of a lure, an interpretation that the lure in question here is unlawful would have the effect of dictating that most of the common lures in use today are unlawful. In other words, what he just said is the legislature never defined what a lure is. They never have said, nor has the DNR ever said, that if it's lead, it's a weight and not a lure. So these things, I suppose, according to this letter, and this letter in 1986 from Herb Burns, make it legal. But the question is, just because the DNR Law Division wrote a letter saying it's legal, what do you think? Are these permanently, rigidly attached? Are they actually legal? What I'm holding here is an Emmy Award. I was awarded this Emmy Award, let's see, that was back in 1989 for a certain show we did in the Old Michigan Outdoors series. So that was a proud moment to get this Emmy Award. I haven't really thought about this in a number of years, but we did have at our last Fishing Awards banquet, our Marbles Fishing Awards banquet, we had a fellow there who honestly should have been and may at some point be in the Oscars with his Marbles trophy tail. Ron Bergen from Kentwood got this walleye the middle of June, Torch Lake up in Houghton County.
Yep, right up there and just in the far end of the big water up there. A lot of water, the one side there especially, but it's pretty shallow.
I feel like I'm talking to John Wayne or Charlton Heston or...
Yeah, I've been told that before, so...
See, I bet you can mesmerize people with your stories.
Well, I'll tell you this, my son-in-law is, he's strictly a worm fisherman, and I'm a rapella man, so he made me a believer. I caught this with a crawler harness, but we fished all day, never got a bite all day, and then 7:30 that night, we got her.
You know what? You have the perfect voice for this. I got to hear this coming from your mouth, okay? Let me ask you where you caught this fish from, and I want you to tell me, if I tell you, I have to kill you. Tell me, where'd you get this fish from?
Torch Lake.
Oh, no. No, I got to hear this. I got to hear this.
Okay.
So where do you get this fish from? If I tell you, I have to kill you.
If I tell you, I'll have to kill you.
Now, just one more thing I want you to ask me is ask me, say, I want you to do me a favor.
I want you to do me a favor.
Yes, sir, I will. Whatever you want, sir.
Okay.
Well, Ron Bergen from Kentwood, great story, great voice.
There you go.
Look for him in the movies. We do have a lot of fun at our Hunting and Fishing Awards banquets, and you'll be seeing some real classic Marbles trophy tails on the air in the coming year. Now, we do have some fishing right now that's actually ahead of schedule. The hot things, perch are coming on, a lot of coho, salmon, brown trout in the Great Lakes. We're going to go counterclockwise here. Now, we were supposed to be fishing off the Captain Nichols on Tuesday, but Tuesday was a blow day. Gale force winds, couldn't get out, but Vicki Nichols said they started fishing on Saturday, and for those who have gotten out, how'd they do, Vicki?
I had about 10, 12 people on the one boat had their limits, and everybody else caught fish. It was nice, and they were all around a nice size, 9 to 13, 14 inches.
You don't want to do this to your propeller. Now, last week, I know Jim Swatowski says to a collector it wasn't worth anything. A guy called and offered me $50 for it, or he thinks I could get more than that in an auction. Another guy called, he thinks this propeller is fixable. We're going to do a segment on propellers, and because there's a lot of people going to be wrecking them this year. Anyway, this show we spend indoors talking about the outdoors. We've gone through a lot of different subjects. Now it's your turn to get off the couch and get outdoors, because it's a great place to be. See you next week. I got to hear this.
Okay.
So where do you get this fish from? If I tell you, I have to kill you.
If I tell you, I'll have to kill you.
Now, just one more thing I want you to ask me is ask me, say, I want you to do me a favor.
I want you to do me a favor.
Yes, sir, I will. Whatever you want, sir. Okay. Well, Ron Bergen from Kentwood, great story, great voice. Look for him in the movies.
All right.
Way to go.